Hello everybody, this is your boy, the Almighty One. That's the man right there. But before I begin, don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe to this video. Don't forget to smash the likes. Please smash those likes. And most importantly, let this segment begin today because of super fat deals. This is about the Philadelphia Eagles and a Week 3 victory against the I don't know why I'm thinking New Orleans or say I mean the LA Rams. The Eagles beat the LA Rams 33-26. And before I begin going into specific statistics as far as game overall, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to the video. Please do so. Smash those likes like I mentioned earlier in the video. And then I don't think I need to mention it again, but you get the idea. I know you see all this coloring in the room, but you know it is what it is. This is a small room, only so much stuff can fit up in here. But the most important thing, you see me and you see the number 90 jersey, Jordan Davis. Because this man here made my day. Now, let's go ahead and get into these overall statistics of the game. Like I mentioned, they won the game 33-26, and they won it by a special man. Now, let's get into the specific details of the game. Let's do this. Here we go. Player stats. Here we go. I'm gonna start with the Eagles first. Then I'm gonna get with the Rams. Jalen Hurts had a pretty good statistic game today. He really did. The last two games that he had, he threw under 150 yards in those two outings. I think he had 101 yards in the game against the Chiefs, and 130 something in the game against the Dallas Cowboys. But those two games were two specific wins. Those were some wins that need to be won because the schedule was tough as it is, and Cowboys played the Eagles extraordinarily tough, but we won. The Kansas City Chiefs played the Eagles specifically tough. We won the game, and this game here was no different between opponents and Eagles themselves, road or at home. Like I said, he had a big statistic game. 21 of 32 for 226 yards, 7.1 average, 3 touchdowns throwing the football, and no INTs, and his overall rating was 117.4. This is about, I think this is like a 20 or 30th 100 plus rating in the last 5-6 years, 4 or 5 years that he's been in the game. I'm talking about when I said 50, I mean 4 or 5 years he's been in the game now. He has had some good statistics passing the football. And so, but 226 is a milestone because, like I said, he threw for 200 plus yards in 2 games compared to this one. So now he now has like 4. I think he had like 400 some games, 400 some yards passing between those 4 games, between those 3 games. So this was a coming out party for Jalen Hurts. And Barkley, the rushing attack was subpar at best because teams are still stacking the run, stacking the box against the run. So Saquon Barkley had 16 carries for 16 carries? No, he had 18 carries for 46 yards, 2.6 average. His long to 12, no score. Hurts had 9 for 40, a 4.4 average, 18 with the long, 1 touchdown. So he scored the only touchdown in the rushing attack. Saquon Barkley only had now Saquon Barkley the last couple of games against Dallas and the Kansas City Chiefs, he has had some rushing. He had 2 rushing touchdowns already, to his credit. So this game against the Rams kept him much balled up in this entire game. Okay, he hit the receiving area. AJ Brown, man, AJ Brown had a breakout game today. He had six touches for 109 yards, 18.2 average, 38 was the long, and 1 touchdown. That's the best average that's the average that he normally gets per game anyway, between 15 to 20 yards per average when he gets the ball into his hands. And Devontae Smith has 8 touches for 60 yards, 7.6 average, 16 long, 1 score. Now these are all Jalen Hurts balls today that he has thrown on the ball to. Then he threw ball and then Goddard only had 1 catch for 33 yards. 33 was the average, 33 was the long, 1 score. Those are your 1, 2, 3 touchdown scores right there. And then Barkley had 4 catches for 9 yards, or 2.3 average, 5 was long, no score. Mechie had 1 for 8.08, no score. And then Dotson was 1 for 7.07, no score. Now I have the receiving area. Now here's the defensive part right here. Now this is going to be interesting that I'm about to read to you guys. So please be diligent and hear what I'm saying. Cooper DeJean was 9. Okay, here we go. We're going tackle for loss, assists, sacks, interceptions, fourth fumble. I'm gonna read 3 lines, so that's how I've been doing it for long. I'm gonna keep doing that way. Here we go. Cooper DeJean was 9-4-0-0-0. Jaheed Campbell was 8-3-0-0-0. Zach Bond 7-4-0-1 interception 0. Quentin Michael was 5-1-0-0-0. Dotson, not Dotson. Adoree Jackson was 5-2-0-0-0. But he went out with an apparent groin injury from what I've heard about him. Jordan Davis, he had 5-1, 1 sack, 0-0. Blankenship 4-2-0-0-0. Bennett with 2-0-0-0-0. Carter 3-3-0-0-0. Nolan Smith 3-0-0-0-0. Makuba was 3-3-0-0-0. Hunt was 2-2-0-0-0. Brown was 2-1-0-0-0. Odromo was 2-1-0-0-0. Young was 1-1-0-0-0. And Uchi was 1-0-0-0-0. Them all your stats for defense is concerned. Now here is the kick. Here's the kick return. Metchie was 3 for 31 yards, 10.3 average, 13 with the long, no score. Bisbee was 2 for 24, 12.0, 16 with the long, no score. No punt returns, no kickoffs. But Brian Mann was 4 for 222 yards, for 55.5 was the average, 64 with the long, no touchbacks, no punting inside the 20-yard line. So that's pretty good overall statistical and defense, special teams, offense, all around. All right, and get with the Rams. Now Matthew Stafford was 19 of 32, 33 for 196 yards. 5.9 was the average, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Interception was intercepted by Zach Bond. 82.4 was his rating. And Cardi was 0 for 1, 0-0-0-0, 39.0. Yeah, boy. Anyway, rushing. Kieran, I think that's his name, Kieran Williams, but say K Williams here. 20 attempts, 94 yards, 4.7, 13 with the long, no touchdowns, and Corum with 8 for 53, 6.6, 12 with the long, no score. Wilmington with 2 for 7, 2-7, 3.5, 0-0, and the Cool was 1 for 8. Now one for 6 yards, 6.0-0-0. Receiving, oh boy, the Cool tore the Eagle defense up. He really did, and he was 11 receptions for 112, 10.2 was the average, 20 was the long, no score. They need to catch him out of the end zone, but it didn't really make no difference because he was on fire. And then Devontae Adams was 3 for 56 yards, 18.7 was the long, 40 was the average, 44 was the long, 1 touchdown. And then Kieran Williams, the running back, was 2 for 18, 9.0 was the average, 10 was the long, 1 score. The only 2 scores that Matthew Stafford had thrown to those 2. Wilmington was 2 for 7, 3.6, 3.5, now with the long, no score. And Allen was 1 for 3, 3.03, no score. Now here's your defense. Now, their defense, man, boy. And all these statistics they got was during the first half of the game. So, bear witness. Here we go once again. Tackle for loss. Assists, sacks, interceptions, forced fumble. This guy Curl was 9.3000. Lake was 6.4000. Young was 6.2, 1 sack, 0.00. Kitchens was 8 was 6.3, 0.00. And Verse was 6.2, 1 sack, no interception, but he did have a fourth. He did force the fumble on the sack. That's for sure. And Ford was 3.1, 1 sack, 0.00. And Durant was 3.1, 0.00. Bryce was 3.0, 0.00. Forbes was 3.2, 0.00. Lanthman was 3.2, 0.00. Williams was 2.0, 0.00. And McCullum was 2.1, 1 sack. So that's 4 sacks. They have 4 sacks. 0.00. Turner was 2.1, 0.00. Fisk was 2.1, 0.00. And Davis was 2.2, 0.00. All right, here we go. Kick returns. Corum was 5 for 115 yards. 23 was the long, 27 was the 23 was the average. 27 was the long, no score. Punt return was Smith for 4 for 53 yards. 13.3 was the average. The long was 20, no touchdowns. Kicking, Carly was 4 for 4 for 39.5 was the average. The long was 51, 2 blocks. Yeah, and 2 for 2 extra points. And Evans was 1 for 36. 36 was the average. 36 was the long. No touchbacks. He only had 1 inside the 20. So, if you compare both the statistics between the Eagles and the Rams had the overall better statistics because, like everybody kept saying, the Rams are a good team. They are a better team than what they were the previous year because the offense it pretty much is on fire. You got Stafford, who's still one of the best quarterbacks in the game. He's a future Hall of Fame quarterback. He probably be the last pocket passing quarterback in the league currently, and he has like 50 or 60,000 yards passing. He coached me on 70,000 yards, I believe. I'm not exactly sure. I gotta look up his stats and see where he's at. But overall, man, the Rams were a better team defensively than they were offensively. But if you look at between the offense of the Eagles and offense of the Rams, you can clearly see that the Rams offense was a whole lot better because they ran the ball with efficient. They didn't have 100-yard rushing, but all the running backs that they had, Williams, Curran, and Wilmington, and Nakua, these guys rushed for somewhere close to 150 yards altogether. And the Eagles rushing attack, Saquon had 40 yards rushing, and Hurts had 40 plus yards rushing. So that's 80 yards. That's still under 100 yards rushing. The Eagles going to have to work on their offense running the football, because everybody know the Eagles are not really a passing team. The Eagles are more of a running team. So they got to figure out some way to get Saquon more running the ball, or they did get A.J. Dillon on the field, because why would you bring in A.J. Dillon, a big power running back who can knock people on their asses, and to tire out defensive tackle? Because see, one thing about A.J. Dillon, he is a he's more of a knuckleball than anything, which means that if he hits you, he stings you. You can get stung by tackling someone his size. So the Eagles need to figure out some way to use A.J. Dillon a little bit more and give Saquon the ball where the defenses can actually loosen up, and they can run the ball between the tackles if he gets the ball. You know what I'm saying? I say on first and second down, use A.J. Dillon, you know what I'm saying, to put some thing on their butt, and then when they run the ball on third down, on third and 2, 3rd and 1, and third of the push all the time, let Saquon Barkley knock them on their butts, and he can get 6, 7, 8 yards per rush, and get back and get his rushing average back up, because Saquon is known for rushing. He's more like a 8 to 10 rushing per average. His average is now below 5 yards. So something to give on his rushing attack, or pass the ball a little bit more to loosen up the defense. Then you can run the ball outside or inside. You know what I'm saying? So, and Saquon needs to catch the ball a little bit more too. Just line him up all the time. Let him catch the ball out of the backfield. He's more of a threat catching the ball out of the backfield than you lining him up in zone or lining him up on the outside. He's not good. He's not good catching the ball like that. He more catching the ball when he runs out and he looks for the ball, and then you give him the ball like that, where he can catch the ball with both hands, and he can get 6, 7, 8 yards downfield for first downs. That's what Saquon Barkley is known as. He's the kind of a back. He's not the kind of back you can line him out wide with the receiver. That's not really good. That's not good, because I don't think he caught a ball this year so far when he been lining up and lining out like that. So I don't specifically don't understand what's really going on with the passing attack, but I know that they need to get AJ back to passing the ball. Let him get the ball that he normally gets. Also, get Smitty the ball a little bit more as well, because this is the first time that AJ Brown had a 100-yard receiving game all season long. The last 3 games, his first 100-yard receiving game, and Smitty in the last 3 games he caught, he's well over 100 some yards already. He ain't nowhere near 200 yards passing. 200 yards catching the ball. And teams are stacking the box against Saquon because they do not want Saquon beating them. And Saquon had beaten them last year. But this year it's a different story. Teams are putting 5, 6, and 7 down players to stack the box against them. If you see 4 guys line up in different positions, and then you got the linebackers creeping up, it let you know that they finna contain the run. That's automatic. And when you get a safety running, trying to stop the run, then he need to milk the field open where a receiver can get the ball, and you can throw where he abandoned his post at. That's what they need to get better, because see, if they don't do that between now and week 10 of their bye week, they are going to have at least 2 games lost. And this schedule is still, it ain't flexible, but it's tough. But seeing this team win the day with the addition of the 2 block kicks or 2 block extra points, and with Jordan Davis running 61 yards for the score, and they calculated his run. He was 18.59 miles. 18.59 miles. That's over 20 miles. 20 miles running. That's fast. That's fast for a defensive tackle. And I'm gonna make up a video about Jordan Davis in the week, because that guy, and I do really mean that guy, is playing some outstanding football, and it was well long overdue. This is a guy who was called a bust in the second or third year of his career. Do you like a bust now? I don't think so. So with that being said, this is your week 3 NFL recap. You guys enjoy your Sunday, and back Monday. Peace.